Hey YouTube, welcome back to another episode of Trail Max. We're back at it again. This time we headed up to Jefferson and Washington National Forest in Virginia to hike Devil's Marble Yard. This was a grueling hike up the mountain, and it took us about an hour or less to get up to the base of the Marble Yard itself. And as you notice here, it gets steeper and steeper the further that you go up, and it is basically turns into walking into rocks and boulders. And hopefully you come with some really good shoes because you're about to climb up all of those rocks to get to the top. There's no labeled trail, so you got to figure out the best way for you to get through all of these rocks. We were both wearing oboes, but my oboes are a couple years old, and the bottom doesn't have the full amount of grip, so I need to replace them after this trip. You just pick a line and you just go up. The boulders are pretty, they're really intact. They're not going to move, but every so often you'll step on one and it's a little scary because it'll wobble and you'll hear a big thud. And you just got to pull yourself along and take your time and think about where you're putting your feet. And I tried really hard to keep 3 points of contact my entire way. I tried using the trekking poles that are on the back, but it was just too dangerous because they didn't want to grip. You hit it in and it'd slide.
Hey, are you a kimono dragon?
The further that you got up the mountain, the steeper that it got. And the further that you had to extend your legs to climb up and pull yourself up the boulders. I wish I had brought some chalk or something for my hands. I don't think I would want gloves to be doing this, but you really don't have that big of a threat of falling. However, there were some places that you had to climb over that were basically a 30 to 40 foot drop. Some places you couldn't see the bottom and it was just black. This is my wife, Mallory. She is the one that picked this hike for us, and I really enjoyed it, and she did as well.
You did this?
No.
I thought that was crazy.
And if you notice, the further we go, the more we're having to pull ourselves up. The boulders get bigger, the steps get longer. Notice all of these little holes everywhere. They're scattered throughout the entire marble yard. So what all these holes are, they're like ancient worms from like 300 million years ago. This was the ocean floor. It was a white ocean, white sand beach. And like over millions of years, this is what's left. It's like all fossils. The entire marble yard is just covered in these holes are just everywhere. Like if you see this picture right here, what that is, it's the little sandworms pushing up sand, as you'd see on the beach today. And this is a cross section. You can see how the sandworms burrowed straight down into the sand. It's like going into a geology textbook because you can literally see in cross sections. You can see where the worms go up and down. And after the end of that extraneously long hike, I put my feet in the creek and I had to dump after a beer. And this is me questioning all of my life choices that brought me up to this moment. And this is our Subaru. It's a 2013 Subaru Crosstrek that we bought brand new. We actually found ramps on this trip. We were so excited we didn't film any of it. This is the only picture that I got of our campsite. Well, you might be wondering why in this episode I drove the Subaru. That's because Subaru gets 30.6 miles per gallon. This Jeep gets about 16 to 17. And around here, gas is still around $4 a gallon. So I was trying to save a little bit of money on this trip. But that kind of brings me into the purpose of what I want to do with this channel, is to basically show you how you can afford to actually come out and have fun and do some of this stuff that you see me doing. I don't like to spend a lot of money when I do this sort of thing, but there are certain things that you have to spend money on. For one is your vehicle, but not everybody needs a Wrangler Rubicon, Hard Rock Edition, mind you. But you can go out with whatever vehicle that you have right now. You can go out in a car or minivan. We go out in the minivan all the time. I've got a truck. We go out in the truck. It's just, the whole thing for me is I want to encourage people like you to get out and have fun outdoors and save some money while doing it. So in the next video I'm going to post, it's going to be about some equipment that I've gotten that's relatively inexpensive that anybody can afford. So make sure you check that out on my next video. But if you could give me a like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it to keep me making some more of these videos. And just want to thank you for watching this video.